Yeah, what up, what up? New Builds Math 3, Unit 1 practice test, worked out solutions. Thanks for being here and watching. Here we go. Ole, ole, ole. All right, so here we go. So kind of patient with me here as I try to work this camera because the district took away my video technology Panopto, so I'm trying it with this camera now. All right, here we go. So we have radical x plus 5 equals 7. We're trying to solve for x. Everything that's not radical is on the right side, so perfect. We're going to go ahead and square both sides. So we get x plus 5 is equal to 7 times 7 is 49. And then we're just going to minus 5 to the other side, minus 5 to the other side. So we get x is equal to 44. We can go ahead and plug that back in. 44 plus 5. The square root of that should be equal to 7. 44 plus 5 is 49. Square root of 49 is 7. It works. So don't forget to plug it in to make sure it works, because sometimes we get extraneous solutions. There we go. Number 2, same kind of dealio. So that's going to be x minus 4 is equal to 10 times 10, 100. We're going to add 4 and get 104. Not too bad. Just acing through this practice test. 104 minus 4 is 100. Square root of 100 is 10. It works. Okay, same process. Wow, a bit repetitive, but here we go. 2x minus 4 is equal to 16 times 16. Do you know that one in your head? I do not. I know 15 times 15 is 225. But maybe 16 times 16 is 256. So we got 256 going on there. Whoa. 250. Ah, you didn't see that. It's good. Okay, so 2x minus 4 equals 256. Now we're going to go ahead and add 4 to both sides. So 256 plus 4 is 260. And so then we bring down the 2x. And of course we divide by 2. Divide by 2. So then 260 divided by 2, you could do long division at this point if you wanted to. That's exciting. Remember how to do long division? 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 6, 3 times, 2 goes into 0, 0 times. That's it. So x equals 130. So we could even check our answer on our calculator if we wanted to. So we're going to do the square root of 2 times 130 and then minus 4, like that. And so that's plugging it right back into the original there, where 2 times 130 minus 4 should give us 16. Well, bam, it does. So our answer is x equals 130. Okay, so now we're looking at number 4 next. There we go. Ooh, so we could square root both sides, power 2 both sides, but will a square root ever yield a negative number? Question mark. No. So we already know that number 4 is no solution without even doing any work. No solution. Or extraneous if you do get a solution, because I think you do, but then we call that the extraneous solution. So square root will never yield a negative number, and number 7, absolute value will never yield a negative number. But number 5, we do need to divide by -6 first to get it to the other side. You got to get everything in the radical on one side, and then we can square both sides. There we go. So negative divided by negative is a positive. 3 divided by 6 is 5. Then we can power 2 both sides. So we get x minus 2 is equal to 25. And then we're going to simply add 2 to the other side and get x equals 27. So then we plug that back in. 27 minus 2 is 25. The square root of 25 is 5. 5 times -6 is -30. It works. Excellent. Number 6. Power 2 both sides. The radical goes away. Excellent. There we go. So then we're going to go ahead and -8 to both sides. Solving for x. So we get negative x is equal to 13 minus 8 is 5. And then we want to keep our x's positive. So we're going to go ahead and add 2x, and 2x minus 1x is just x. Bring down the 5. X equals 5 should work. Let's try it. So then we're going to plug a 5 in. And this is before we square it, right? Before we square it, plug a 5 in. So 8 minus 5 is radical 3. And then 2 times 5 is 10. And 13 minus 10. So then 13 minus 10 is 3. So radical 3 equals radical 3. Whoa, I feel like it just went dimmer. I don't know what happened. Is that brighter now? That was weird. I didn't notice my video camera going dimmer. Okay, awesome. So that works. Beautiful. There we go. Okay, we're on number 7 next. There we go. Absolute value. So first of all, number 7 kind of tricky because an absolute value turns things positive. So absolute value will never yield a negative number. What? So that means this is also no solution, right? No solution or extraneous solution. Awesome, there we go. No solution, extraneous solution. Okay, number 8. So we have isolated the absolute value to the other side, so that's good. That's good. Should we zoom in a little? Zoom in, keep it bright. Okay, so then we have to set it up doing 2 equations, dropping the absolute value. So x minus 5 is equal to 4, and x minus 5 is equal to negative 4. And that'll give us our 2 absolute value solutions. So then we add 5, so we're going to go and get x equals 9. And then we're going to add 5, and we get x equals 5 minus 4 is 1. Excellent. Let's plug them in, make sure it works. So we plug in a 1. 1 minus 5 is negative 4, and then the absolute value of negative 4 is positive 4. So that works. 9 minus 5 is 4. 4 equals 4 works. So even verbally, you could just kind of say it to yourself, see if it works or not, or write it out. Definitely write it out, show your work, and check and make sure it works. So I'm getting extraneous solutions. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to go and write 3x plus 6 equals 9. And 3x plus 6 equals negative 9. Awesome. So then we can go ahead and solve for x by, by minusing 6 to both sides. So 3x is equal to 9 minus 6 is 3. How convenient. Divide by 3, we get x equals 1. Yeah. So we plug 1 in. And yep, if we plug a 1 in, then 6 plus 3 times 1 is 3. 6 plus 3 is 9. And that works. Absolute value of 9 is 9. Let's try this one now. Minus 6 to both sides. This time, we're going to go ahead and get a negative 15 when you add those together, because negative and negative is more negative. Take 9 apples, take 6 more, you owe me negative 15 apples. Okay, so we're going to divide by 3, and we get x equals negative 5. Let's see if that works. So then, to see if that works, we go ahead and plug it back into the original, right? The original is 3 times x, or negative 5, plus 6 is equal to 9. Well, 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Negative 15 plus 6 is negative 9. And the absolute value of negative 9 is positive 9. It works. Beautiful. So last now on this front page, which is awesome, then we'll jump to another video to help you do the back page. Little grass mark there. Who's been playing on the grass? Not me. What? Okay, so then with absolute value inequalities now, this is inequalities. So we're doing a number line. I'm going to isolate the absolute value, which is already isolated. So now we're going to go ahead and break it off into 2 equations, right? Let's drop the absolute value. So no, class starting. Not yet. That's second lunch. Okay, cool. Okay, so then we have x plus 2 is greater than 7. Is going to split off into, it's going to split off into 2 equations there. So x plus 2 is greater than 7, little dash to represent 7. Oop, there it is. So drop the absolute value. Then we're going to go ahead and switch the inequality sign and the number. Okay, so now we're going to do x plus 2 is greater than a already messed that up. So it should be a less than, and then a negative 7, right? A negative 7. So now we set it correct so we can get our 2 solutions and then graph it on the number line. So we're going to go to minus 2 to both sides. So we get x is greater than 7 minus 2 is 5. Awesome. And then we'll do minus 2, and we get x is less than negative 9. Awesome. So those are our two solutions. You can plug them back in, make sure they work. But actually, we're going to graph it and then maybe look and make sure it works. Since this is let's see here, since this is a greater, that means it should go in opposite directions, right? And because this doesn't have the equal to, it's going to be an open hole. So we're going to go ahead and go to 5, x greater than 5. So we go to 5, do an open hole. And then opposite directions, because now we're going to go to negative 9, which is right here, and do an open hole and do opposite directions. The reason why we do opposite directions is because that means that none of these solutions inside should work at all. So for example, 0 should not work. Let's try it. So we're going to take 0, which shouldn't be in our solutions, plug it in, and 0 plus 2 is just 2, and 2 is not greater than 7. And so that means that's why we can't use 0 or any of the solutions in between, but everything outside will work. Excellent. Here's number 11. You're doing good. Remember to pause me if you're like, because no point in copying all these down, just pause me. And then you can be like, oh, let me see if I can do it first. So I'm going to pause. This is me paused. And then I'm going to go ahead and, there we go. I guess I need to pause this because somebody's knocking on the door. 2 seconds. All right, we're back. They just ditched me. No one even came to the door. They knocked it around. Who does that? Okay, so now we're going to do the same process. So we're going to split it off. And we'll just do it up here because that might, well, we'll do it down here. So we're going to go ahead and do 2 equations, right? 2 equations. So we're going to go ahead and split it up into, drop the absolute value, x minus 4 is greater again, greater than 5, so they should go in opposite directions. And then x minus 4 is less than negative 5, because we want to switch the inequality and switch the sign of the number. Switch it, switch, Nintendo Switch, I want one. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead now and add 4 to both sides. So we get x is greater than 9. And then, let's see here, we're going to go ahead and add 4 to this side. So there we go. So then we get x needs to be less than, negative 5 and 4 is negative 1. Beautiful. So then we're going to go ahead and do, so less negative 1, good. Greater than 9, yeah, that should go in opposite directions, so that's good. For all numbers x less than negative 1, so we go to negative 1. Ooh, is this open hole or close hole, you guys? That's it, there's no equal to, so it's open hole. If there's an equal to, then there'll be close hole, which is on the next one. So we're going to go to negative 1. We're going to put an open hole, and all numbers less than negative 1. So that's going to go in that direction, like that. Excellent. Then we're going to go all numbers greater than 9, 9 and greater. So we're going to go here and go the opposite direction from each other. Do a nice little arrow there. Beautiful. There we go. Okay, so then 12 is going to be a close hole. And the reason why 12 is going to be close hole is because it has an equal to. So that means closed hole, okay? So we'll bring down and do 2 separate equations. So we're going to go ahead and do 2x minus 6 is less than or equal to 12. And 2x minus 6 is greater than or equal to negative 12. Now what you won't see on this problem is dividing by negative, because that would switch both inequality signs. But maybe on my next video we'll have a problem like that. Okay, so we're going to add 6 to both sides. So we get 2x is less than or equal to 18. Divide by 2, divide by 2. We get x is less than or equal to 9. Let me jump over to this one where we add 6 again. And then that's actually going to be 2x is greater than or equal to negative 12 with a positive 6. You could even do that like on a number line, right? So if you're not sure, go to your number line. Look, negative 12, add 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's negative 6. Nice. So that's how we add negative positive numbers with a number line. Then we're going to divide by 2, divide by 2. So we get x is greater than or equal to negative 3. Beautiful. So now we can circle those, and we're going to do it on a number line now. So we're going to go closed hole at negative 3, closed hole at -3, so that's right there, and closed hole add positive 9, so that's right there. If you can't see, we'll zoom in. What? Well, it's too far, Newbold. Sorry, I'm trying. Whoa, camera's all over. Don't throw up on me. Okay, so we'll zoom in there. Beautiful. There it is. Okay, so now, because it's less than or equal to, it's going to be closed hole. But also, this is a less than. So less than d. And so and means everything in between. Everything in between, going in opposite directions, everything in between. Because if you plug in like a negative, you know, a -5 or 6 or 7 or 11, 12, 13, you plug that in, it's not going to work. It won't be less than 12. So thanks for watching. Make sure you watch my next video. Watch the next one. Peace out, brother, sister.